Hello, Tech Ninjas. My name is Christy, and today I shall be taking a real-time series analysis using Python. Hope you're all set. As for me, today I have my tea over here, which is weird. I don't usually take tea, but one of my friends introduced me to this beautiful brand, which is amazing. With that, we shall get started. I will start by importing the vital libraries, which are pandas, matplotlib for visualization, stats model for statistical analysis, for getting things like correlation, the distributions and all that. The can also import the numpy and all that. Today I want to analyze the Google stock. I want to see if the sales will increase within the next 2 days, the next 5 months, and all that. So with that, I'll link the data, which is data equals PD, the lint underscore CSV. Then you can print out the first row of the data. At this point, my data set, it's not a time series data set. Because a time series data set, it is the data that is corrected based on various dates. In this case, our date is just a column. But if you want to convert your data set into a time series data, you can use parse underscore dates method. That is parse underscore dates method. So I want to convert my data into a data set. So I'll say data2, which is equals pd.lead underscore csv. And then I'll pass it, which is parse underscore date equals date, comma, index underscore date. And then I print out that data. Job done. At this point, my data set is a time series data. So you can start time series analysis. First of all, you start by checking our data. If it is green or it has missing values and all that, you use is null method, which you say data dot is null dot sum. At this point, our data is green, so we can just start analyzing our data. And time series data, you can analyze using various time intervals. One of the time interval is monthly interval. The second one is weekly interval. There is quarterly interval, and there is semi-monthly interval. In this case, I use the resample method to analyze this data based on monthly method. So you can see monthly underscore data equals data2 dot cross it is the column that you're analyzing, dot the resample method, which is we are using the monthly interval dot mean. So we want to get the mean of the data based on various months. And you can see these are the means for various months. You can see you can check which month and the highest stock value and which end the lowest. Uh, the highest month which end the highest month which end the highest score, it is July. It is July. Yeah, it is on July, which end the highest score, which is 2021. You can analyze your data using weekly interval. So you'll also be using the resample method, which is weekly underscore data equals data2 dot cross dot resample method. At this point, what we have is the mean for various weeks in our data set. All those are the means for the various weeks, and you can get some insight like which week and the highest stock and which week and the lowest stock. You can also analyze using the quarterly interval. you can see using quad equals data 2 dot cross dot resample. Then you get the means for various quarter of your data set. You can see they are this. Also, you can analyze using the interval of semi-monthly, semi-monthly interval. Sorry, you get this. These are the means. So with that, you can see you can analyze data using various interval, and that is it. You can plot out your data. So the data that I'm plotting here, it is the data for semi-quarters of the months. So this is it. You can see the stock value of Google stock is increasing based on various semi-monthly quarter intervals. The stock is, wow, it is increasing. So if you want to invest, you can invest. There is from there, I want you'll plot the time series data based on various three components which affect the time series analysis. And those vital things that affect time series, it is the trend, the seasonality, and the noise. So we'll draw various plots to show the trend, to show the seasonality and the noise. So in this case, I've drawn using the start model. There is decomposition equals SM. And as you can remember, when we are importing the libraries, we said we're importing the stats models as SM. So sm.tsa.seasonal underscore decompose, and I'm using y variable which we declared in the above, and the model that I'm using, it is the addictive model. And one thing that you should remember in stats model, in start model, it has two models. One of them, it is the addictive model, which you are using here, and the other one, it is the multiplicative model. And then you specify the period. In my case, I've specified period 1. And then you can plot. You plot the data. This is it. You can see our data is not much affected by the seasonality, because what determines, yeah, using your intuition, not much. Well, your Googling pattern is not influenced by various seasons, and our data, it is affected by trend, or the trend is increasing. Okay, and the other one, noise. The noise variable, you can see it is also increasing. So with that, let's go into predictions. So when I started, I said time series analysis. It is you are training a machine learning model so that it can predict the future value. So in this case, we shall be using a RIMA model, which is autoregressive integrated moving average. I'll be using it so that we can predict the future values for the Google stock. And for autoregressive integrated moving average, it uses three variables, as I said. One of them is P, D, and Q, where P represent the seasonality, D represent the trend, and Q represent the noise. and I'm using the Sarima to determine the right combination. In this case, I want to determine the right combination of the season, the trend, and the noise, so that when I'm creating my model, I want to have the right values for those. So I'll be using the I'll be using the word the Salima model to determine the right combinations of the right combinations. To know the right combination, you can create a for loop to determine the right combination. But this method, I don't like it because it is a try and error method, which will to print out various combinations of seasonality, trend, and noise. Then you keep on trying which is the best one. So in that case, I like using PM Derima model, which is a Python library is specifically built so that it can determine the right the light Salima combinations. And for Salima, it means seasonal autoregressive moving averages. So you can import it using pip install Parima PM Darima. I've already installed all. So you can, after you've installed it, you can you call it, then you say result equals auto underscore rima. You call your data set, my data set that I want to get the right combination of seasonality, trend, and noise. It is the cross data set that I want to model. For seasonality, you have to say it is true, and you have to choose the number which is for my number it is 12. Then I'll print out the summary. So you can see it is giving us all this stuff, but what we need here is our model combination, which is this part. But you can see it is giving you the variable that you are modeling, which is our variable y, the number of observation, the log likelihood, the date which you pretend the model. It is also giving you the the coefficients, the error, and all this stuff, the heteroscedasticity, showing you the skewness, the kurtosis of your data, all that. But what we're interested in, it is knowing the right combination. So after you get the right combination, we'll create our model, which is the most important part of this section. So we'll use the statistical model, which is sm.tsa.state space dot serima, the y variable, and the order that you got from the model above. You can see our model. It is 010. You place it over here, and then the season underscore under, you get it from this part in our model. After you do that, you enforce inevitability, which will be false. Then from there we have a result. We fit our model, and then we print out the summary of the model. Our model, you can see that is our model. It shows the coefficient, the standard error, and all the other stuff. Then if you want to visualize, to plot a diagnostic plot for that model, you plot it using plot underscore diagnostic. Then you can specify the size. And these are the plots. It is showing the standardized residue for the model. the estimated density for the model, which is okay. It is showing the theoretical quantiles, which is used for various distributions, and it is showing the coloregram of the time series data. So at that point, we have our model. So I want to know if my model it is okay. So for me to do that, I'll use the data that I have to predict the data that I already have. If my model gives me the correct data, and my model is doing the same, it is doing okay. So for me to do that, I'll use the get underscore prediction method. I use the get underscore prediction method. Then I'll specify the start, the time I want my models to start the prediction. I want it to start on February 2021. And if you are careful, already I have the value that I already know the stock value of February on date 1. I want to confirm if my model will give me the right results. So from there, I'll also use the call underscore int. This is the model. There is a function, a Python function that it is used to show the confidence interval for various values. Then I'll plot my data. Then I'll plot the data. I'll specify the X label, Y label, the title, and all that. The most important part it is for you to get this method, which is get underscore prediction method, and you specify the date you want to start your model to start the prediction. And you can see this is the results of my model. The blue line represents the actual data. I already have that data. The orange line represents the values that our model has already predicted. And so as this other line. You can see our data is our model is doing okay because our data is giving us the actual values. You can see this line. It is a correct fit for our data. You can see it has a upward trend, which is okay. So we can see our model is doing okay. So we can use it to predict future values for the price of the stock. Before we do that, other values that you can use to check if your model is doing okay is mean square error, which you can get by subtracting the predicted value and the data that you already have, which I've sent y underscore the forested equals the predicted mean. I already have the y truth, and for me to get mean square error, I subtract that, and then I erase it. You get this value, and you can also get the square root of mean square error. In my case, it is 156. You can get it. Using np.sqlt. You get it is 156, and it is showing us our model is doing more than okay. In that case, we can proceed to predicting future values for this model. So this is the moment we have been waiting. Want to know what will be the trend for the stock, for the Google stock in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, so that you can make your arrangement if you want to invest in Google or you don't. In this case, for prediction, I told you you'll be using dot get underscore forecast, but In this case, at this point, these two methods are the same. Dot get underscore prediction, or dot get underscore focus. They are the same methods. They are used for getting the prediction, the future predictions of time series data. So in this case, you specify the steps. How many years do you want to predict? And where do I want to predict 100 years from now? And then you'll use also to get the confidence interval for various variables. I use con underscore int, and then I'll plot the data using fill underscore between method, which is just used for there is a matplot function filling various region in a chart. And after, you can specify the X label, the title, the region, and all that. And this is what you have been waiting to see, the Google stock prediction for 2020 from 2021 to 2030. You can see the Google stock, it will be increasing all the way. And that is it. If you want to invest in Google, if you want to buy Google stock, there is nothing that is hindering you. And so with that is our time series analysis using Python. It is done. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And see you next time.